Hello, welcome everyone. So this is our next episode, and we left off last time by pointing out that these tractors were both not strong enough to pull some of the equipment I needed to pull. So with that in mind, I think we're going to get rid of the red and gray tractor simply because its 3-point was not compatible with half of my tools. That is going to be step number 1. And we're going to bring this off to the store. I'm going to have to cut across here. And we're going to get ourselves a bigger tractor. Now I obviously do not have even close to enough money to buy a new tractor. So in order to make some money, you kind of have to have money. And when you don't have money, well, then you have to ask the bank very nicely for some money. That will be phase 2, I guess. We're going to go over to the store, we're going to sell this tractor, we're going to buy a bigger tractor, and we'll have to pull a loan to do it. Not really looking forward to getting a loan, but at the same time, we all know that sometimes you have to do that in life to get ahead. I'm going to go bring this tractor on over to the store, and I'll meet you guys there. We're coming up on the store here. And I gotta try to figure out where we sell these. I do believe it is right here somewhere. I could be wrong because I see the shopping and I also see the finance section, but I do not see a marking on the ground for where we park our tractor in order to sell it. Now there's one over at that little sawmill, but I believe that's just to drop off logs. I could be wrong. We will give that a go and see if that is indeed where we need to go. I don't see anything to suggest that I can sell here. Very peculiar. Regardless, we're going to go into our garage. How many leased items? Nothing? Okay, good. So this tractor is getting sold. It didn't even have half an hour on it, but it needs to be sold. There we go. Now, why don't we go back and actually, yes, let's go and check how much horsepower that baler needs. Do we still have that baler, or are we gonna have to buy it? I think we have to buy it. If I can think fast enough, right? Let's go find that baler. We leased it last time, so it requires 50 horsepower. Since we're running New Holland, why can't we paint it New Holland blue? And design color, shoot. Let's hit it with some JCB yellow. Looks like it's just the lettering. Now the attacher, we want the trailer attacher. We thought that was a great idea. And trailer or 3-point, I think we'll stick with trailer. Makes it easier to pull with a truck. This is total price $9,730. We will buy. Thank you very much. So we know it needs 50 horsepower. So we're going to go to the back here, and we're going to find us a 50 horsepower tractor, or something close. We have a 75, which would be really nice. This is actually quite a jump at 75 horse. So that is interesting, how we went so high. I don't need a shovel on the front, come on. I'm going to go through all the options here and not bore you guys with that. I'll let you know what we have once we're done. I have this thing spec'd out the way I like it. It's looking really nice. I'm going to have to buy a loader for it as well. I don't really like that side tank, but I know it's an auxiliary thing. But the full price is $39,000 and we're only at 23. So that means we need to take out at least 16 grand more. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump over to the bank, and we're gonna go and see if we can get, I don't know, I know we need 16, but we might as well grab a little extra just so we have enough. Do we have any loans right now? Loans are 0. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Why don't we say we borrow 30? That looks good. And back to tractors. Where are you? Right here. So we had this pretty well figured out. We're going front weight. Design. Went with Chrome 2 to give it a bit of a bigger stack. Engine setup was fine. Front loader. And accessories. Yes, just standard. And here we're going wide tires. And we will buy. So with 75 horse, we should definitely be going up in the world with our other equipment too. But we'll deal with that a little later on. For now, we need to go see what $39,000 worth of equipment looks like. And there it is. Wonderful. That tractor actually looks really good. Now we gotta take a listen. Ooh, that's actually kind of quiet. I like that. It's not obnoxiously loud. That's just fantastic. Well then, off to the home. And we'll see you guys when I'm back at home. And there it is, our new setup. So, we got the tractor, we got the baler, and we got the wagon. Now, interestingly enough, it seems that all my bales I made are missing. Very, very peculiar. Not sure what happened there. But, nevertheless, we still have work to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to hire him. He can get to work. And let me jump off. And we're going to get someone raking in the meantime. And let's see what we can do with all these bales. Maybe we can sell some bales. That would be ideal. We're going to grab this little tractor, and I think the rake is in behind here. Now if you look at my money, you can see I dropped it significantly again, because I just came up with a brilliant idea that should be the envy of almost any man, or so I would pretend. And that is, I'm going to get rid of this auger wagon, and we're going to go get us a real man's wagon, or at least something that is a little bit bigger, can fit a little more, because this auger wagon has been nothing more than trouble, and I think we can do better. So I'm heading off to the store, which is over yonder, and I will show you guys what I picked up. So I can already tell that you guys are saying, hey, that trailer is much too big for that truck. And truthfully, yes it is. But soon enough we're going to have bigger tractors, and it's going to make all the difference in the world. So I should not really be loading here. If I was being realistic, I would be loading somewhere about here on the axles. This trailer can also be configured with a gooseneck, which is why I really want that workshop. But I figured in the meantime I could probably do a couple loads to the grain mill with this big trailer and make it worth my while. So that is the plan for now. Going to, wow, 11%. That is not a lot, quite frankly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this over to the end of the field, and we'll let the combine dump in there again once they reach the other end. And once our half field here is done, I'll probably go and do a couple runs off to the grain elevator and sell some of our crops, because Lord knows we need the money. In the meantime, I should not be on that tractor because it's not working. We do want to turn on our baler, and we want to test out this really cool baler and see if it actually works with this oh shoot, I gotta lower my pickup. So I noticed one thing right away, and that is that when we back turning toward our left, it does not do a very good job backing. And if we drive to our right, it also tends to buck a bit. So we're going to have to pick our turn radius very carefully, but I think we can make this work. And here's to hoping that we can get a lot of bales in here, and that this chute is going to throw the bales in correctly, because that last baler just was not doing the job, was it? So I see one of them is starting to come out. I'm curious to see how that's going to be operated. So I'm really watching closely to see how that thing's going to flip. Okay. So it just kind of slopes upward, and I guess magically it's supposed to get pushed up by the other bales. That is very interesting. So as you can see, turning this way is possible. It is a bit of a wide turn, but it is definitely possible. So I don't know which way the radius would be better. I'm going to have to do a little practice, a little work, and eventually I'll get this baler figured out. But here we go. We're starting to get into the first bales into the wagon. Now I really wish I had closed the wagon, quite honestly, so that these bales wouldn't topple over. There we are. Just need to stop for a sec. And it seems they're doing alright. Oh, that was pretty close. That was quite close. Man, if only we had a closed wagon, we could avoid all of this drama. Should have kept the other auger wagon, or modified it, I guess. So I'm going to back this up, and we're going to try. As you can see with the other wagon, it is quite painful. Oh, I dropped two. Well then, here we are. So a different wagon would be ideal. I should check out the prices of wagons, and maybe we can find something that works a little bit better and doesn't drop bales out right away. But this is, with this chute assembly, it is definitely a lot nicer. So let's take a look at what our combine has been doing. I believe we'll run off to the end, unload it into the giant trailer, and we should probably haul off a few loads to the grain mill, as I said earlier. I am very amused at the size of that trailer versus that truck. I have a feeling it's going to be pushing that truck around a lot once it's fully loaded. Now, one thing I didn't even think about is I added extensions, and this combine could probably barely get over the extensions. It looks like it works, but it could also be a bit of a pain. So I'm going to have to be a little careful with that, I suppose. With the combine unloaded and parked away, because we won't do that second half of the field just yet, I think it's time we fill up this trailer. So we have a good amount of barley. Why don't we fill up this trailer and torture my truck? That's full load there. Can we get any in this truck? It does not appear so. Interesting. Well, the truck's got enough going on, but pulling it surprisingly well, all things considered. It could have been a lot worse. And it looks like Our tip side is to the back. That is good. That's exactly how we want it. We're off to the grain mill. See what kind of price we can get for all this barley. And hopefully that will bring our net income up a little bit. We're coming up here on the cattle farm that I'll be working on here shortly. Have not had the time to really do much. Looks like a bunch of junk in there. I think I'll probably end up storing some equipment in there as well as some bales on those nice little shelters. Field 23 looks like it's all grass. That could be a really nice acquisition for doing hay later on. I just might want to buy that at some point. I believe field 6 also has grass, so that'll be another one that could be really beneficial to making hay. But for now, we're just going to do grain until we have enough bales to really start with cattle farming. As you guys will remember, cattle farming is the aim of the game on this map, and we'll do as much as we can until we are able to buy ourselves some cattle and start cattle farming. So I believe that would be a fill place, and this would be a dump. Why would a elevator have a fill place? Not quite sure. Maybe it's ornamental. Alright. Before I dump, I should really check the price, even though there's only 2 grain elevators. Still gotta check, right? Oh, I believe we gotta go the other way. So, we are at Emerson Mill, and it looks like we might actually be on the lower end price-wise. Not that it matters. We're dumping here anyway. Open the doors and just let her pour. Fingers crossed we can get a little something out of it. I really hope that ceiling is tall enough. Nope. We are going to do some glitching. Well, what else is new, right? Wow. 14,200. That's a nice price. It doesn't even cover half of our loan, but it is nice. It's still good. We will take it. 14,000. I believe we should be able to do better at some point. Good stuff. Back to the field and back to the farm. Back at the farm. We're ready to hit another load. I think this time we'll bring it to a other elevator. You know, just so we can alternate the price a bit. And hopefully we make a good little chunk of money. I was a little worried. This is only 30,000, and I think we had about 100,000 in our silos. So if we made 14 grand before, then we should make pretty close to that with this load here as well. So we're going to go off to the other grain elevator, because I think it had a little bit of a higher price. That's the green one you see off in the distance there. So earlier we were off to that side, and although you can't see it in the horizon right now, it was there somewhere. Oh, there it is. Just popped up. So we're off to, what's it called? Calvin Mill Company. And we'll take care of some more business there. Here we are. So I decided to do a left side tip. Although hold on. Did I not say tip left or tip right? It looks like there's only one option, and that is to dump. Because that was 2,700. I gotta try to keep this in mind. We're probably gonna hit the ceiling again because this thing only tips one way. Like that. Well, It was roughly about the same price for our grain. But that is good. And oops, the door's caught the post. Well, can't win every time, I suppose. We're off to go do another haul, and I think this time I'll do it at the animal barn, just so we can get everyone serviced, I suppose. Yeah, here we are at the animal barn. I think this is the right place to unload. Oh, sure as tootin' is. Guess we're just dumping it on the ground and pretending that everything's okay. The barn don't have much in it. I don't see any animals. It's nice when you can glitch yourself into the buildings like this. But not so great when you're in the trees. There we go. That was 17. Wow. That did really well, quite honestly. I was not expecting that. So I think we're going to go ahead and grab a newer bale wagon. We'll sell the one we have. We'll grab a different one that has sides on it so we don't keep dumping our bales out. And I think that should go a long way in helping us to sell our commodities. I guess the other thing we could always do is collect it all as forage and haul it all back into the silo, but who wants to do that, right? When you can bale. Man, you know, some days it feels like the baling will never end, so right now we're gonna go take these bales and we're gonna see if we can drop them off at the animal farm, or animal barn, I guess you call it. If not, we'll drop them off at my barn, and then hopefully they stay there and don't disappear before the next episode, because that'll be really disappointing if that happens. You'd imagine if you stored bales somewhere that you would, you know, be able to keep them and not have them disappear everywhere. I don't know why I'm driving here, but it is what it is. So there's the animal barn right there. I gotta slow down or else I'll dump everything. Yeah, right here in that square. Look at that. They took them all. Almost $1,000 for that. Now if I had those other bales, I would have made almost 2,000. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're gonna bring this. Well, I'll drive off to the store and I'm gonna go pick up a different wagon. So I'm really taking a gamble here on this wagon, so I did just lease it, because I really don't want to be wrong this time. Yeah, and especially because the lease cost me more than what I made in bales so far. I know it's going to pay for itself in the end, but yeah, when you start out, it's just everything is so painful. Every time you spend a little bit of money, it just feels like it hurts a little extra deep. Just like real life, you know? But from the look of it, it should fit in there nicely. So I hope it doesn't tip away. I'm going to try to do this nice and carefully so that the bales do not fall. Now if I had raked this a little better, I would have better turning radius, but that's neither here nor there, so we'll just deal with what we have. And into the next row. So right away, I have a lot more faith in this wagon. I think this should work better, and if I need my bales to move to the front, I can always slam on the brakes, and I think I can get them to slide forward. In fact, we might just try that right at the end of this row. We'll just try to catch as much as we can and slam. There we are. That seemed to work out alright. Now, oh, that was another unnecessary slam. I believe we've got ourselves into a predicament. Well, there's only one way out, and that is keep bashing our shed, I guess. There's not much other choice there. With a trailer like this, you have a hard time turning it. It takes a very patient man to learn to turn one of these wagons, and I am not such a patient man. But the baling is definitely going better now, so I'm very happy with that. This should definitely improve. So I think since this is a lease trailer, I will probably end up buying it. Seeing as it also has a grain door in the back, we can use it for hauling grain as well. We'll just have to, not have bales in it at the time. But this seems like a good trailer. I believe it has a hitch in the back so we can hook up multiple trailers. Should be good. And we should be able to haul off quite a bit of grain. So I don't remember what the specs were with this, but it'll definitely be a nice asset for the farm. I think we can keep it for 1 or 2 episodes before we have to grow. Well, I would say that was a lot more success than the previous time. We definitely got a lot more bales. So before we got $900 something, I think we should do a fair bit better this time. And it looks like Emerson Mill and Barn biogas plant are all places we could go. But I believe we'll go to the barn and sell them there. Now once we get to doing round bales and things like that, that's when I think I'll start to store them at my farm versus selling them off right away. Right now we could really use the money, so this is probably our best bet. And as you can see, the wagon is quite full, so very, very, very pleased with that. Oh yeah, you can see it's really tippy. The wagon itself doesn't have any straps on it, so we gotta be a little careful. Yeah, let's see what we did. 3,800. That's a good haul. Paid for the wagon already. I do not mind. Yeah, things are looking up here. Well, with that being considered, I think maybe we should get the other half of that field combined. What do you guys think? Would that not be a fantastic idea? We can get the rest of this baling done in the meantime, as we have time, and we'll go from there. I decided that we would use this wagon a little bit, as it is also good for hauling grain, and it takes a lot of weight off of the truck that this blue trailer would normally push on the truck. So I think this will be a good setup. I know for sure we want to fill the green wagon before the blue one, otherwise we'll be doing all kinds of magical flips. But it looks like our combine is full already. We need to start thinking of how we're going to get a newer combine. I did spend a little bit of money getting a rake because we really desperately need one already. And I think we should start to think about investing into a newer combine. So right off the hop, it looks like this green wagon is being a bit of a source of concern. Not sure why. I would have thought that this would have worked really well. Well then, when push comes to shove, I guess. There. Come on, combine. Just take it. I know it's not ideal, especially parked in the middle of your own field, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Seems this wagon is a bit tall. That's just one more reason to get a bigger combine. Maybe in the next episode we can get a bigger one. Who knows? Anything is possible on this farm, right? But we're slowly making our way bigger. Speaking of the rake we just bought, so we leased this one in the last episode, and it was amazing because it was a ground driven rake. It could be powered by the smallest of tractors. And I think it was only a 15 horsepower rating, something like that. But needless to be said, it's been very good. It has a nice wide swath that it takes, and this little tractor should do just nicely with it. So I'm gonna start raking up some more straw, and we're going to do some more baling a little later on. It seems that the raking is going along splendidly. She seems to know what she's doing, and she's taking 2 rows at a time, which is exactly what I wanted to see. I know it's not always going to work out that way, but it is so far. So very pleased with the results here. Just wonderful. So now we're going to watch her make her turn, and hopefully she can get those 2 rows as well. That would be ideal. I think so. That's just awesome. Well, we'll let her get to what she's doing, and we're gonna go check out the combine. So as you can see, we've got this green trailer with a little bit of grain in it, but we're nowhere near full yet. It's gonna be a while till we're all done here. Looks like the combine is just turning around at the far end. We'll maybe go and see if we can meet the combine. It is nice when you can just drive beside your combine and unload at the same time as them threshing. It saves a bit of time, but unfortunately with this wagon it seems like it doesn't always work the way you'd hoped. That's alright, we'll do the best we can. And if nothing else, it'll just pass on to the blue trailer, and we start loading that one. Well, I just may have found a way to cheat the system a little bit. So we do still have our smallest combine, but we have a modded 40-foot draper for New Holland. And wouldn't you know it, it fits. So this should make the swaths a little further apart, don't you think? And I'm gonna see if this works. I haven't tried this yet, but if this works, this is definitely gonna be a lot faster. You can see we're about done, halfway done on the back half. So let's hire a worker and see what happens. Fingers crossed this works. No, I don't think this does because it's not moving. Dang it. It was such a good idea in theory. Dismiss. Well, let's see if I can do it by myself. Is the header too big? Oh, it touches the ground. Insufficient power for attachment. Oh, bummer. This is a 40-footer, and if you guys have a look here. Well, first off, I wanted to have the TX32 combine for my next one, but it has a 4-meter header, and the one we're using right now is 4.2 meters, so that makes the TX32 combine obsolete. Our next combine would be a different New Holland, but unfortunately we can't use that right now. So this is what I got right now. I got the 40-foot draper, and it doesn't specify which combine it belongs on, but I guess it doesn't even specify how much horsepower you need. We have 35 and a 30-footer. Now I just leased it, just to try, and it doesn't look like it's gonna work. Yeah, that is not working at all. Oh well, it was worth a try, right? So I'll return the lease before the hour is up. We'll go back to using our skimpy little header. Very unfortunate. I thought I had something here, but I guess not. Oh well, back to doing things the old school way. Always try and see if you can't somehow make it work for you. That's my go-to. So while we were out working on our field, number 2, I decided to take on a contract just to make a little money. And so I'm harvesting field 16 right now with their equipment. It kind of, gets you away from the bore of just using tiny little machinery, and makes gameplay a little more interesting and gives me a little more money. So I'll be doing this in the meantime, you know, get myself an extra, what is it, 25 grand, maybe 20 grand, I don't know, something like that. But breaks up the gameplay, makes it a little more fun, extends your patience a little bit. Sometimes I hit a pole. Yeah, looks like I need to go unload that semi as soon as I'm done dumping here. There we are. We're still, not really using up all of our precious time. So I figure, why not plant this field with grass? You see, this field is really too small for anything of any particular use. And planting with grass would just make it kind of melt in with everything else. And so I think that would do really well. We can cut a little hay off of it if need be. And other than that, I can't see any good use of this little garden here in front of our house. And grass will look really well. So it looks like my combines are just about full again. I'm going to have to go and service them. But we'll pay attention to this tiny little field. What is it? Field 3? Yeah, tiny little field anyway. And I have a feeling we're going to be getting us a bigger seeder, because that seeder is very, very narrow for our Massey, as we saw earlier. It looks like our worker is trying very hard to get that back corner, but she doesn't know how to do that. Why don't we fix that for her? We'll just finish that up for her. We can lower and turn on. And there we are. Turn off and lift and fold. And our seeding is all done. Very good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this little tractor on the disker, as I've already put the other Massey on a cultivator. And we're going to start cutting some of the ground that we have been harvesting. I'm sure they won't be able to catch up with the combine, so that shouldn't be a problem. So we'll drop that right there. And we're going to give this little tractor a bit of a challenge. I'm sure it can do it. No doubt in my mind. That camera crash is quite uncomfortable, to say the least. So there you see the Massey just ripping along. And with all the straw we have here, I think on this side of the field that we harvested first, I'll collect all the straw since I've raked it all. But the straw on the far side where the combine is currently working, I think we'll just till that all under, seeing as we don't really need that much straw right now. And it looks like both my combines are full, so I'm going to get started here right away. Send my little boys to work with their little equipment, because that's the name of the game. Ah, it looks like it's little girls. Either or. Let's get her rolling, and let's go check our combines. I gotta make sure that Massey's not gonna go cut over everything either. That could be quite a disaster. So we're gonna go take care of our combine, and then we'll go check the one on the field that we're helping out on. This is perfect because I can just leave the wagon here and they can finish unloading, and I can go and jump to the other field right away. It's painfully obvious to me that this tractor could definitely handle a bigger cultivator, but this is the one I had, so this is the one we're going to use. Maybe in the next episode we can do a little more shopping. You can see my money is very quickly disappearing, so we got to wait for our harvest to come in, see how much money we actually made, and do some shopping accordingly. Maybe get a little bigger cultivator, a little bigger seeder, bigger combine, all that good stuff. I might do some contact missions yet too, help get that money in. I think that would do us all really well. Well, I just spent 3,800 in wages on the last hour, so that's really hurting the bottom line. But it's got to be done, right? That's just the way she goes. This is the second truckload, so this should make it, I think the other one was 32% of the harvest. So this should, in theory, make it 64. And we can start to unload. Truck's tires in the front are in the air. It's a bit of a steep angle there, bud. Now the trailer tires are in the air. Fun stuff. We can let that unload while we go check the rest of the equipment out. Yeah, 65% transported. Very good. I like that. So that should mean another 30 or so percent should pretty well finish the contract. So one more truckload, most likely. And well, that's only 29%. Meanwhile, over at field 16, we're all done. And I still got a fair bit in this combine. So what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to truck this here. Oops, there we are. I'll truck this over to the elevator. It's a shame I can't go right there, eh? But we'll bring this over, see if the harvest is done. If it is, everything that's left in the combine, I'll probably go and truck off into my silo. And I think that should be good for this field. It is getting quite dark. It's almost 8 o'clock at night. And I believe my other combine is probably waiting for me as well. But I can only be in so many places at once. And I would love if this was finished, because it would really boost my financial situation. And we can move on from there. As you can see, we got 81,000 extra harvest income. That was from the extra canola that I harvested that wasn't needed on the contract. So that is a very welcome little chunk of change. Should help us get closer to getting a new combine and a few other things. And the other combine still isn't emptied out, so that'll be extra for me as well. Now if I can get this stupid old combine to work. For some reason this combine and this wagon are just the worst of enemies. They don't seem to want to work together. I know I can get this in my pickup bed, but I was really hoping I could do into this wagon here as well. Always gives me little short spurts, and that's about it. And it seems to only want to load right at the extremes, the outside or inside. And that is it. See that? It wants to load against the walls, and that's about it. It's very strange. Anyway, yeah, we still got 68%. Oops. Yeah, let's start that up. 68%, so that's almost 10,000 liters worth of the good stuff here. So that can only mean one thing. We're going to bring this thing up to the roadside here, pop that auger out, and we're going to grab that truck. We are going to load the rest of this canola into the truck and bring it to my silo. We already made quite the killing on what was left in that truck, but we can still make some more money, and everyone knows we do need to make more money. This has been quite poor as of late. And the episode is coming to a close, and it'd be nice to close off with a nice little chunk in the bank. Now, just because we finished the contract, we have not collected our paycheck from the contract yet, so that is why I am able to drive the truck and the combine around. And I do want to test a theory. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I can still use this truck to haul off my barley. So that is the goal for now, anyway. See if we can do that. And if the combine was any less done than it is now, I would have most likely have used the combine to finish my field, or at least tried, see if it would work. I can't confirm if that does work, but I would have definitely wanted to try. So here we go. A little bit of canola in my silo. That is always great. And just before 8 o'clock, helper F is finished. Look at that. The timing is impeccable. So that means this combine is all done. We can send this old boy on home and we can move on, bring our grain home, and maybe we can truck some out yet before the end of the night. I would say we should probably do that before the end of the night, even though we'll be doing it in the dark. It's alright. And we'll see how much barley we've accumulated. There you can see the two little tractors still cultivating to their heart's content. Just so much fun to see little machinery like that working. Well, with the harvest all done, we need to figure out how much barley we have now. So we know in this blue trailer here, that one's all filled up to the brim. There's 30,000 liters in there. So we're going to take a look at our specs and we're going to see how much barley we packed in. It looks like barley we have 106,672 liters of barley. That is wonderful news. I think we can probably get most of it in that semi. And in fact, why don't we take one more look at it and see what our best price here is. It looks like the barn would be our best bet there at $5.93. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to haul a whole semi load off to the barn, and I think that'll be great. It'll help us maximize some profits. We definitely need the profit. Yeah, we got a bit of money now from all that extra canola that came from that harvest, but we still have a lot of equipment to buy and a lot of upgrading to do. So we're going to go ahead and drop this trailer here. We're going to go ahead and grab the blue trailer with this truck, move it out of the way, and then we're going to get this semi over here loaded. And once we're all done that, we'll see how much we have left. Maybe I'll add the little green tipper in between here. I am not sure yet, but we'll play it by ear. There we are, 106. So this is not cheating the game. This is just called taking advantage of the situation and circumstance. Because maybe this farmer let me use his semi and let me... Wow, we're going to have to do 2 truckloads. Goodness me. Well, off to the barn we are. I know I cut my own conversation short, but that's okay. Yes, we're definitely going to the barn. After we're at the barn, we're going to see how the price reflects our drop, our unload, and we might have to do one at Emerson yet, just depending on how it all goes. We are nearing the barn now. It is worth noting that I'm not accepting the payment for the contract I finished, and that is simply because I can use his equipment for doing a little hauling of my own. It's what you might call a pro gamer move. I know it's a bit tongue-in-cheek to say that, but it is. It's just something I can use a truck for free, right? Don't need to pay for fuel, don't need to pay for usage or anything. And I'm just hauling my own grain with it. Oh wow, 35,000. That's fantastic. Well, we're going to see how the price of barley is going to be after I reload the semi. Maybe, just maybe, we can do another load there and get close to that again. Because obviously every time you dump, the price will change a little bit. But yeah, no, that was a nice little chunk of change. I am not at all upset about that. And there we have it. Barley's all gone. That is perfect. So we might as well check to see what our prices are now. Barn is still at $5.93, so it hasn't really noticed. That is great news. We're going to swing this truck around. We're going to see if we can do a quick unload before the price drops again. This is absolutely fantastic. And then we got that truckload there yet, so we should be able to grab that and probably drop it at the barn and still make a good bit of coin. So this trailer is only 80% full, which is fine. We're not going to make 35 on it, but it'll still be a good 20 grand in our pocket, if not a bit more. 28, so almost 30,000. So let's see if the price dropped now. So far it hasn't. We might be able to get another truckload in. I'm tempted to not even drive this truck back. You know what? We're just going to leave it right here. We're going to grab this. Oh, there we go. Start the engine. We got to bring this truck over as fast as we can. Because if this price stays at 593, then we are rocking and rolling. And that is all we can hope for. I will check the price just before I dump, just to make sure it didn't suddenly fluctuate. But normally, after a couple of dumps, then it seems to want to adjust. But we've been doing good so far, and I'm really excited about that. So, almost 30 grand on the last dump. That is just fantastic. The poor truck is having quite the job pulling this too. This is a very heavy trailer. Once I get a workshop at the yard, I'm going to change the box so that we can have a gooseneck on there. I think that'll really help to pull this trailer easier. It won't all be sitting on the back. Our truck won't be doing wheelies the whole time. But that's for another episode on another day. I'm going to let those cultivators run all night. They can finish up the job. That way I don't need to worry about hiring more people on the next episode. Field will be done, and then we can move right along and start another episode on a clean slate, which is exactly what I love. Alright, we're coming right up on the barn right now. You can see the truck is parked there. Sorry for my twitchy driving. I'm kind of doing this one-handed here because I have my controller plugged in. Here we go. Again, before we dump, we check our price. So, alright. 593 still. Emerson has been bumping up. They're at 555 now. They've gone up a fair bit. That is cool. Okay. They're still not as good as the barn, so we'll take the highest bidder. That's the way it works. See what this will be. I'm hoping 15. 15 would be great. Let's see how we do. 17.8? Look at that. So now at this time, wow, my truck is incredibly dirty, as is my rig. Now at this time we can go to our menu, and here's our contracts. It says there's still $25,000 for wage payments, which I will collect right now. And as I collect, then the truck and combine are all gone. So that's great. We have almost 200,000. That is a nice little bump in cash. That should help us to get a bit more bigger equipment, so we can start episode 3 with some really nice stuff. Perfect. Well, I think that about does it for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this rather long episode, and hopefully you stuck around till the end. If you didn't, you wouldn't hear this part, right? Good stuff. Well, you guys all stay safe. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Till then, take care.